Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Today we're looking at creating this masked text effect in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to start with a brand new file. I'm just making one that's 1920 by 1080 in size, but yours can be any size you like. You will need a photo or an image to use. I already have downloaded one from unsplash.com. I'm going to click File and then Place, and this is the image I've chosen to use. I'm making sure that link is not enabled here. I'm clicking place and then I'm just going to drag to place the image inside my document. Now my text is going to read summer, so I'm going to click on the type tool, click in the document and just type summer. Now it's best to use capital letters for this because then you have a solid baseline. The letters are all going to have the same bottom level, if you like. The baseline's going to be continuous, and that's just going to make it stick better to the thing that we're going to stick it to in a minute. So I'm just setting my point size to 300 because it needs to be really big, and it also needs to be a bit chunkier than it is. This font is a little bit thin for my liking. It's not going to show a lot of the picture through it, so I'm selecting the type there and I'm going to go and find something that is a whole lot thicker in size. Kind of like this one, Berlin Sans FB Demi Bold, but you can choose whatever font you like. This one suffers a little bit from the baseline not being perfectly straight. This letter S is a bit dipping down, but it'll be fine for our purposes. The next thing I want is the curly line, so I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. I have black selected. We're doing everything in black right now. That is advised. So make sure that you are using black text and a black shape here. So I'm just drawing out my shapes quite large. I'm going to Effect, Distort and Transform and then Zigzag. And here I want it to be smooth. I want lots of ridges per segment. And I'm just adjusting the size. Now, the bit that we're interested in is what's running along the bottom. The rest of it we're just going to ignore. So just be aware that it's the bottom that we're interested in. Make that what you want it to be and then click OK. Now right now this is just a shape with an appearance applied to it. So here is the shape here and you can see that that's just an appearance. Now if we start cutting it off we're going to be in trouble, so let's just bake this appearance in by choosing Object and Expand Appearance. So now the shape is actually all of this, so there will be anchor points all along this. Next up we need to select just the bit we want to keep, so I'm going to click away from this shape so that the changes I'm about to make don't affect it. I'm going to flip my fill and stroke and I'm going to turn my stroke into something that is just a color. It doesn't matter what color it is, you just need to be able to see it over the shape here. And then we're going to the rectangle tool and we're going to drag out a rectangle that's going to cover the bit of our shape that we want to keep. So if you only want to keep a narrow bit, this is pretty good. If you want to keep a bit more, then you're just going to extend it up. And I'm just going to make sure that sort of the ends are looking pretty even here. You could even just select both of these shapes and line them up to the middle. That looks like they're pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this front shape, the purple outlined one, to cut the back shape. So I'm going to select both of them. And I'm going to the Pathfinder palette. You can get to this by choosing Window and then Pathfinder. And we're going here to intersect. So you're just going to click to intersect. What ends up with happening is that you get the shape you want. You've just got an outline and not a fill. Well, we're just going to switch those around and let's go back to black because it's going to work better as our mask. So now we're going to place these two shapes together. We're going to stick summer and this base in place. I'm just getting a little bit of an overlap on these and I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit here. You may want to zoom in and just make sure that you've got everything lined up neatly. This is sort of, it's not your last attempt at it, but it is pretty near last. If you can get it right at this point, it's just going to make life easier. I'm just making sure that these look pretty good. To create our effect, we're going to grab the text and the rectangle. So I'm clicking on the text, shift clicking on this rectangle that's got its nice little edge on it. I'm going to choose Object and then Group. Because these are now grouped, they'll act as a mask and the text will still remain editable. So I'm going to place my text roughly where I want it to B, I'm going to select everything. I can do that by choosing select and then all, or I can press Control or Command A. Next up, we're going to the transparency panel. Again, you can get to it by choosing window and transparency. And here we're just going to click Make Mask because Illustrator is going to assume that whatever is on the top, and what's on the top is our group of text and shape, is going to be the mask. And that's worked perfectly, except that we just need to select the checkbox to use. If you're using black for your text and the shape, then you'll select Clip and Invert Mask. Now, right now, this is the mask. If we click here, we're editing the mask and we can move it around to find a better or ideal position for it. If we click here, we're stopping editing the mask and we're just moving around the object, which is the image that has this mask over the top. If we have a look in the Layers panel, we'll just say that we've got an image here with a dashed line underneath it. So image is the picture and the dashed line is telling us that there is a mask attached to it. If you need to edit that mask at any stage, you're going to click to select the image. You'll go back to your transparency panel. If you click on the mask here, you'll be able to edit your mask. If we click on the group selection tool, you'll be able to select objects within the group because the group is the text and this shape. And if you want to edit the text, you're going to click away from anything that's already selected and just click on the text. Now, if we go to the type tool, you can see that we can actually edit the type. You could also change the font, you could change the font size, you can do everything you want just editing this mask here. But when you're finished, you absolutely have to go back. Let's just get that transparency panel back again. You absolutely have to go back to this image and click on it. Otherwise, you'll be editing the opacity mask. And the Layers panel is telling you it's working on the opacity mask, but when I click here, you're back to the regular image. You've got your image here with its mask in place, and you can go back and do all sorts of things around that masked image. The reason why we needed to do this using an opacity mask is that you can't combine text and a shape and use them as a clipping mask unless the text is converted to outlines or paths. And if you convert text to outlines or paths, then it's no longer editable. So if you want to retain the editability of text, attach it to a shape and use it as a mask, then using the opacity mask option via the transparency panel is the way that you're going to do it. If you like carefully researched content like this, clearly presented in a step-by-step format so that you can get great results, then you'll love my Skillshare content. I'm a Skillshare top teacher. I have hundreds of short courses on Skillshare that you can access along with thousands of other great courses, all for the price of a single subscription. If you're interested, there's a Skillshare coupon for you in the description below to use to sign up. Using this coupon benefits me as a creator, and it helps me continue to make free content available here for you also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. On the screen now, you'll see a video that I've hand-picked for you. If you enjoyed the video you've just watched, I know that you're going to really enjoy the one I've picked for you to watch next.